Hello, hello. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome to another ES Futures Trading stream. Today is Thursday. My bad, today is Wednesday. It is August 27th. It is 2 p.m. Eastern Time in the US. Got to do. There is something interesting happening here in this market. This stream is not going to be that long. But I just want to highlight some things. I'll just make myself aware of what's going on. Let's put it out there. We were talking about how this market, how the bias that I had was to the upside. Regarding price, regarding what price was showing. One of the things that was that we talk. What I'm going to do, I'm going to maximize this chart here. I am assuming you have reviewed your monthly, weekly, and daily charts, but I want to just highlight this thing. This is the profiles, which is what I'm going to focus today. But just want to show you some things here. How the dynamics of markets work. Now we have had this rally here, this breakout of this range that come during this day, right? Doing this, making taking an all-time high that was made in the overnight, but it did not have upside extension. And talk extensively how weak this area was, right? How this movement to the upside. Where are you? This movement. Let me see if I can help. I can have some help with this. Okay. How this. How this movement to the upside here, once this took this all-time high here, and then break out of this range here, it has a really weak base here, three lows here, three lows here, three lows here, extensively, very questionable, right? And what happened? The market just falls, right, on its own weight. But when this happens, if you check your volume, there is actually really low volume here, and something worse happens, something very interesting happened in this break here. It leaves like a ton, right? A ton of questionable highs that happened during the overnight session. This reference was key at the time, and I decided to leave it there because I thought it was going to be significant down the road. It was, and this one as well. This is for this day here, that's staying here. Now, the short covering we have here, all right, it was just brutal here. This was wild here that we have here in this short covering. And it came back exactly to the same area. When we were talking in this area about 1 or 2 weeks ago, we were also talking about how in the same way as we have these super questionable lows at the base of these days here, we had the same thing going on in the upper side. Same thing, exactly the same thing, right? To the upper side. And this range, when we have this short covering rally, it comes just exactly to this area. That was the dynamic of last week. And markets are always changing, right? Well, the way how you trade one day is not the same way I'm going to trade next day, because if it was that easy, everybody will be making tons of money in this business, and that's not the case. That's not how it happens, right? Something that changed this week, right, was how these days. Right? We have very questionable base here, right? We talk about this as well. when all these weak loans are removed, the same base, okay, the same base can be used. I did not say it's going to be used, right? Can be used. This time it can be used as a new base now with different kind of trading going on. Right? Different kind of trading going on. Is that going to be the case? I have no idea. I really have no idea. I will know just after the fact, as everybody else, just after the fact. However, there are always, not always, sometimes there are clues here that happen. This one is something here. For example, during this day here, which was this one here, right? We talk about this area here. This area here having this specific area here having tremendous amount of volume here, and yesterday I mentioned, he said, I guess yesterday or before yesterday, I mentioned this whole this can be very misleading here because that was clearly right. I guess I use the expression make no mistake that this is buying here, that's coming here, all right? That is coming here. Let me what it is. Let me. I guess I'm going to take my words back. It wasn't here. Or it was. Yes, it was here. Yeah, during this break here that happened here. Was tremendous amount of volume here. The market kept going lower, but it was quite obvious. The difference, the way how it happened here, relative to what happened during the whole day, it was there. There was something there, right? There was something there. And that was when this market was going lower. Right? I had no idea what was going to happen here. What we talk about here is my main thing, and this is why I stayed throughout the day here, is that I was going to, my main thing was what I was going to pay attention to what the market does relative to this late pullback here. Can you see this one here? What is that? It belongs to this day. This one here. This one. And what the market did that day. Okay, let me close this one. Close this one. Let me see if I can make it bigger. All right. What the market does relative to this pullback low here. During this day. It builds value around it. Is this not lower? It has value lower, but also has value higher. So I would say it's neutral. It's not clearly lower. It's not clearly higher. There is, and having the context. Hey, Luna, come on here. Okay, and having the context that this day was short covering, there was some rebalancing expected between the odds, right? That was going to happen. That could happen, and actually I believe it did happen, right? The next day, which was yesterday, the market opens with a gap to the downside, and immediately closes the gap, kind of like a right away closes the gap, which is also a sign, right? It signals something. What is the message of that gap being delivered? That the market is not as weak as prices are trying to make me to believe, right? As prices say. Prices are going lower, but the market is not that weak, right? And from this day, and I am saving these references just to show you, just for today, I'm saving this reference. This previous period hallbacks, what are these, right? The market selling from hallback here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because even the this is Monday's high was sold exactly from a mechanical reference, exactly from settle, exactly from settle, which is an indication of who is behind this trade, right? I didn't do anything here, absolutely nothing here. The market could have gone in any direction, and a market has no confidence whatsoever throughout the day, throughout the whole day. There was nothing there. The only piece of evidence that I have here was this low here, right? This huge volume coming here, and the value being built around late pullback low. All right, that's for this day. I'm going to extend this a little bit here, and that's why I haven't removed this, because this happens all the time. As yesterday develops, okay, there was nothing as well, absolutely nothing. You can see here, trade is selling, right? Selling from exactly one reference here. Call it this F high, G high, A high, H high, I high, J. So being short in this market, if I was short in this market, the last thing I want to do is be short in this market. It doesn't mean I'm going to be long, okay? Because value is lower. The trade is to the downside. But what the market is doing, right? How if the trade is to the downside, how well the market is doing the downside movement? It is not there, right? It has a base, very questionable base here. Same thing that was happening in this area here, this area here. I can say maybe it's the same thing that's going on here, but notice this also, right? But I'm going to show you something here. But this is after, I can just know this after a fact, because this is very subtle, right? Notice the volume we have yesterday, right? High volume, and a couple days before that, high volume as well. What is that? We have this day high volume and this day high volume. And what happened during those 2 days? We have upside movements. And those are the clues, right? You could have something down here, and it was clearly here what the reference was yesterday. It was this one here, this high. Once the market took this high out, that's the base of my spike here from the late from yesterday. Guess what do we have up there? We have this late pullback from this day, right? From this day, this is right there. I don't know if somebody took advantage of this movement, but you could see what the market is doing. And at the end, at least for me, the ultimate goal for me is to figure out what the market is doing. That's it. Right? That's it. The market was clearing these references. Right? I'm going to remove these ones because these are not valid anymore. Okay, erase Darwin. I'm going to erase this one as well. I'm going to erase this one as well because the market has way past those references, and I'm going to erase this one as well. Okay, and once the market gets back inside previous day range, the ultimate destination is the opposite side, and especially having the all-time high right there. Look at what's happening here now. Same thing, right? Same thing. Copy and move drawing. I'm going to call this. We have back-to-back spikes to the upside. This is a spike. I'm going to call this a spike. Late spike. Basically it's a late spike. Okay? Same thing. You got something here. The market comes back and take this one, you're out here in this market. Late pullback low, late spike. This is not a reference. Yesterday's has been checked, has been correct. Right? And now the market is aiming to take this one, this all-time high, out. That's what the market. Sometimes it's just as simple as it looks. Right? And notice what the trick here, right? The trick here today was this. the liquidation here. We have settled around the 64.80 mark, right? The market goes through that. Inventory was particularly long and a very narrow range. The market takes that area back, comes back to the late to this level here. Notice how this trades, right? But something that I mentioned yesterday as well is a time frame, right? When I speak, when I talk about this, about my vision of the market, my vision of the market is the time frame I may be talking may not coincide with yours. All right. When I say Monday, I say I had a bias to the upside. Okay, I was talking about the whole week. I wasn't talking about that specific day. Right? And sometimes you just have to wait for your trade. Yeah, yesterday the market was to the downside. Look at what happened to value. During the 3 or 4 periods that I was here, we were here in this market. This is where value was, and look at how we ended. Way up, right? It get overlapping lower, but it moved, right? It moved higher relative to yesterday, not relative to Monday, but relative to the same day. And today it was higher, or it was overlapping higher. It was overlapping higher all day long, basically, right? So there is no reason to short this market. No reason at all. But traders fails, right? When traders fall here, is that we want to make things happen, and we refuse to wait, right? We refuse to wait until we figure out what the market is doing. Right? During this day, I didn't see anything. Right? Oh, I can say, I took advantage of this. I can easily say, oh, I took advantage of this moment. I took advantage. I did not. I didn't. I am being honest here. I didn't. There's one thing that I see here, and this pullback here. Right? So once I have figured out, or I believe I have figured out what the market is doing, then got to wait, got to wait for an opportunity here. And what the opportunity is here? This is a pullback here. This pullback, I believe this is a viable pullback, because there is something here that happened here, right? We have this base. I'm calling this a base, right? I highlighted red here. These also were bases, but there was weak bases, right? Extremely weak. This is different. Now we have another one coming yesterday. When the market has this a late spike to the upside to correct all these weak highs that we have, and also taking the previous high, something came at the end, at the closing. The same kind of behavior that happened here going to the downside, tremendous buying here. There was tremendous absorption up here. Right? Now you have direction here. Now you have something to the upside. It could have been. I am talking about this upside movement right now, but it could have been pretty well to the downside as well. I didn't see nothing to the downside. I didn't see that. I saw something to the downside. The bias that I have, I talk about that bias because I want to heal myself talking about that, because I don't want to be trapped into that. I don't want to be enclosed into that box thinking this market is going to go high. This market is going to go high. That's not what I talk. I can easily say I knew this market was going to be high. That's not the reason why I say that. I want to say that because I want to be aware of the bias that I am having. All right? I want to be aware of that bias. I saw something happen here. I saw something here. Something happened here. And guess what we have on the upper side? We have this all-time high, which is where the market has stopped right now. The ultimate destination is making something here. No, this trade is over for all practical purposes. It's over, right? You have reached what you have here. What else do you want here? What else do you want? If you have this movement, you want the market coming all the way to this 65, 20 thing. I mean, yeah, I am going to risk, right? What that means that risking whatever amount of win you may have, right? Trying to catch the last penny, the last quarter of the movement. Once you have 50 or 70%. And by the way, I don't know how long is this movement is going to be, and nobody knows that. Just after the fact, I will know. Just after the fact, I know that this spike here, for example, has gone from 40. What is this? 65 to 85. Right? That's 20 points here. Right? This movement. Just after the fact, I can say that. Right? But this trade could have very well ended, after this late pullback has been taken, or has the market started to chew into this area here. Right? It's better to enter a little bit late and leave a little bit early, all right, than trying to catch the last thing. That part, trying to catch the last thing, is when we got killed, right? We got killed. The pullback, the pushes that you have here are very, 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 weak. There was nothing there, really. And you got an opportunity here. I mean, there's some kind of risk. We always have to take a risk here in this market. Now, I'm going to check here. I'm going to keep this reference here in the lower side for I don't know if this can be relevant for the upcoming days, but I'm going to leave this one here. On the trade today, this is the first trade in the week. Also has a lot to do with what the context is of the movement. We have Nvidia reporting after the close. Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about here. This is yesterday. Ninja Chan, this is not. This is the one. My bad. This chart here, I have only the last period. This is what I'm talking about. Look at this buying here. Almost 2,000 contracts bought, like boom, at once. There's not 1,000, there's not 2,000 times one, right? There's just 2,000 at once, right? And why I got this to the upside, why is it to the upside? Because I can see the market going higher, and the market doesn't have pushback after this happens. And something similar to this happened. Where are you? I guess it's not here. Something like that happened the previous day. Okay, where are you? Should be here. It's not here. I guess I remember, but I saw something. That wasn't the bid and the ask. The difference in the bid and the ask. Okay, it wasn't in. Oh, come on. It wasn't in these charts. Now I don't see. Oh, come on. Ninja Chai. Oh, I need to. That's just too high. All right, that's the one. Okay. This is a bid and ask. I saw it here. Okay. I guess I have to lower this. All right. Let's do it that way. Right there. I am just very particular. This is just to observe what the market is doing. Okay. I don't, and if I have something, it may bring some clues for for to monitor a trade. Look at this. Look at what's happening here. And also something that from yesterday it was the Dow. This is the thing, right? From yesterday, the Dow was checking, was testing the breakout level. Let me bring that back to you. Okay, the Dow was checking the breakout at the all-time high, which is a trade actually. Just checking a breakout, was making new highs. I was checking, make an all-time high, testing that high, that breakout. Nasdaq was screaming, man. And once Nasdaq was screaming, it is actually screaming. The potential of Nasdaq here, this is a firecracker effect here. This is very questionable highs here. And the Nasdaq is screaming to the upside. I'm not saying it's going to, but it is screaming to the upside. It has a questionable low here. And Russell also was set, right? Russell was set to the upside as well. Same thing, checking this breakout that came from this range here. So all the indices were in sync, right? That's one thing. All the indices were in sync to the upside. That yesterday. And the trade is happening today. But now, can you see the time frame? Can you see when I talk about these developments, these dynamics of the market? I'm not talking about one specific day, but this is it's like a narrative of the market, right? In which is developed by chapters, right? Chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and these stories that happen on each chapter are not unrelated to what happened before. They are always related to what happened before. Always. What happened before has something to do with what's happening now. Right? And you have one thing here. Right? All of these observations that come even from the weekend, from Monday, Tuesday, comes to play here. Only when we have something here to the downside. And why the trade is clear today, right? Why I say this? Yesterday, for example, I saying, we talk about this, right? How the trade was to the downside. Because value is lower, I would rather sell the market rather than buy. But the market's not giving me anything. Now I have something to the upside, right? Based on this. Also value is obviously higher. The trade to the upside. The trade to the upside. The market opens here, has no give back here. Okay? Has in a couple ticks, but nothing. There's nothing here to the downside. Market comes back here to this low, and you have something here, right? Something very maybe unrelated, but this is something that you can use as a stop, right? The market comes to be, this one comes to be, that can be some sign, because I say why can be now there? Because if the market comes down to B, something like this will be happening again, right? This low, the same thing that happened here will be happening again, and I don't like that. Back to back, this kind of lows, that's not good to me. That's an out, so the trade maybe you may have some losses there, but you can see the market going higher after that. But it is what it is. The trade didn't work, right? It was not. That trade was not meant to be mine. Right? And look at what's happening now. Right? Look at this high. This is a very questionable high. I'm going to go ahead. Okay, I'm going to remove this high here because it's not relevant anymore. I'm going to remove this one as well. It's not relevant anymore. But this to me is not. Right? And what I have here is another kind of reference here, which is this one. Remember, this was a lot of things, a lot of times. We talk about this, how this market was paying a lot of attention to this reference here. This is a distribution close. You can call it distribution close here, or you can use the late spike base here. Okay, any of these ones. It's just up to you. What kind of trader you are. I don't call solid. I don't wanna. do it that much because it is just a reference now. It doesn't have too much relevance for me now. Okay, this high is questionable. Probably this all-time high that was made in the overnight is what the market is aiming to get over there. Now, especially now that we have Nvidia. So, and remember this: markets are always forward looking, right? They're always looking forward. What do we have next? Right? We have Nvidia. What do we have after that? We have jobless claims tomorrow. That can be something here. That number, market has been ignoring these numbers lately, but that can be something there. And also the contract is we are about to start the rollover, start to get into the rollover period, and this contract is going to win. Is going to start to win down as well. Right? And that's the thing, right? If this market is just trading, okay, if it's just trading, that's something that we may see here, right? During the rollover periods. If it is just trading, we may see some pullback there, right? But if there is some serious capital being invested into this, we may keep those around. If the market keeps these highs, there is something there, right? Those contracts are being executed. That means that new money is entering the market. Also, we got Nvidia today. We got jobless claims, the weekly jobless claims tomorrow at 8:30, and Friday. Remember Friday? What do we have Friday? If you check your calendar, you won't see anything there. You won't see anything. Personal incomes, outlays. What else can we see this week? Friday retails non-farm payrolls. Friday we have non-farm payrolls. This is going to be a exciting close of the week. Nvidia today after the close. Non-farm payrolls job. Come on. Weekly jobless claims tomorrow. ADP. Tomorrow. GDP also tomorrow. That is important. That GDP is important as well. Right? The fact that we may be getting into some kind of extra inflation or recession. That number can show us can bring some volatility here. We have non-farm payrolls on Friday, so back to back days that can bring volatility to this market. Be careful about that thing where you stand into this, okay? And end of the month, okay? It's end of the month options contract. The options that are expiring tomorrow, Friday, or the weekly, the daily, and the options and the monthly as well. That can be something. Also, that can, so the potential for some wild swings here in this market are here. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, just but saying that got to be aware that there are odds, right? That something that can happen. The violent swings, right? That can happen up there. Also, VIX is low, so the market is disregarding any kind of risk here, and that's ironically that's risky here. What I'm not following Nasdaq, but something that happened yesterday. For example, we have accumulation volume. Look at this is Nasdaq, the first period, the opening period today. A very similar trade today, right? Similar in what regard, right? We have accumulation around the center and the upper side, and then the market coming and testing, testing this and testing this, and it did not remove actually. It did not remove. Just you can see the market drying here, and the pullback dries as well, right? And stays into this area here. right? That's very like a copy and paste from the previous days. Just check your profiles from yesterday. Look at this, man. Look at this Nasdaq here, man. This is very. This is no. This Nasdaq is getting weak here. Look at this, man. Look at what's happening here. Whites, low volume here. This short covering here happened here. You got an inside bar here, inside bar in the upper side. Break out of the inside bar and upside continuation. Taking this high out. Let me check the monthly. As I say, Nasdaq is screaming to the upside, but this case kind of like a weakening here. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this how this happened here. Yeah? This is there's a lot. Notice it. There's a lot of volume here up here. These guys are at risk. These longs here are at risk. Oh, but look at this. How this drying here. This is drying here. Okay, let's see if the market can close these distributions here. Okay. And these observations now are for the next trade. When it's going to happen? I don't know. Really, I don't know when the next trade is going to happen. I just want to see what's happening now. That's my goal here. What else? There was something else that I forgot I was going to talk about. Oh. I'm going to put these references. Oh, maybe. I guess I don't know. I guess I talked about this yesterday. But let's check this overnight for example. Just check this overnight, man. Look at these highs here. Exactly from. Look at this where it comes from, right? You got to be. If you were short in this market, you really, you were short in this market here during this day here. Really have to reconsider your standing view of the markets, your current views of the market, the way how you watch the market, how you see the markets. How to question that. Yeah. Man, this is look at this, man. There's a lot of volume here. Weak. Come on, man. Look at this. Oh boy. It is being short even here is just that's the only thing I'm going to say, right? If you were short in this market during these days, you got serious consider your approach to the market, right? I know you need to take a break, reconsider all your points of view, consider another approach to the market, to markets. Okay, we have a distribution clause here that's being used as a reference, and now we are having another one up here. Okay, this one here. This is very important to me, at least. If I extend this to the left, what do we have here? Look what we have here. This high here, right? This is an all-time high. This is a very questionable all-time high. I want to see if this market can give us. Oh, this is what I want to talk about also. And this is I remember now what I was going to talk about. Another cue, right? Another tail the market was giving us. We talk about volume here, how it decreases when the market goes lower, how volume decreases. When during this movement, volume goes lower, Market overall, right? Market overall, not yes, market overall. And this is the Q. I mean, this is another one to the upside. We talk about Dow testing the breakout, Nasdaq screaming to the upside, potential rebalancing of the ES, and notice this inside bar here. Okay, right? We have an inside bar here. All this trade coming from the breakout of the inside bar here. Short cover. Okay, this is short cover. I'm calling it short cover. Notice that this is forming a pier, right? But that's not that's not something for now. Okay, I want to see this upside extension here. This is the Q I'm talking about. Yesterday, we have a breakout to the downside actually. Right? We were talking about this potential trend lines here, and there are always there. If I want to find a trend, I will find it. That's not what I'm too much. That's not where my focus is. But notice how this breakout happens to the downside, comes back inside, and the most important, this is the clue, the Q. It closes. Okay, it closes to the upside. It's an outside bar. It is an outside bar to the upside, which is in sync with the breakout, this inside bar. This is an outside bar to the upside. It would have been different here if this, and that's something I was checking yesterday as well at the close, and this has to be after the market closes, right? Where this market closes, because this is last, this is last. If it closes, if this market would have closed inside this range, that's one message being delivered, and closing above this range, that's another one. Closing above make this an outside bar to the upside. So there's another Q there, right? It's another Q pointing, in one direction. Okay? There's no reason to be short here. Really, there wasn't. There was not. Right? When the market has, this kind of, and this is something also to, it takes time to appreciate this, right? You can see this market. This market is going higher. This is the monthly. Did not take this low. We have a range here weekly. Coming back above this range. Look at this. This is testing this high here. Right? It's testing this high. Has tested, but did not have acceptance below this. One time frame lower has stopped. I'll stop here and see what happened here. This high has been taken. Right? So if there was downside continuation, it is not going to happen. We may have a range, or we may have come back to a trend. And the daily as well has been all over. But I want to see if this one has upside continuation here. I want to see that. This high here is this one here. Just as easy. It's just as easy. It's as easy as this is the thing, right? You got to make your own observations, right? Sooner or later, if you are with me here, or if you are following Jim Dalton, Jim's weekly updates are very short, right? Very short, but it has a lot of information in those 3-4 minutes that he has. His market, he makes his market update. He really puts a lot of information there, but it will not make sense to you if you don't do your homework. If you don't do this yourself as well. Okay, it is one thing listening to him, and another thing drawing your own conclusions ground your own observation, and then comparing to him. Right? Just compare. Oh, okay, this is something that he also has observed. This is something he also has pointed. You know, and one of the things that I was following as well is this high here, right? This one here, which is this one, and the 64.50, which was of relevance, you know, when the market was doing this break here. We were talking a lot about this area. We did not talk because of this. I don't remember exactly what it was for, but we talked about this level here in the past during this week here, during this 4-day balance here. All right. Okay. I guess now if volume is relative. Let me show you something else here. I want to show something else just to call it a day. All right. Again, I'm going to bring back volume. Volume was about the same, a little bit lower, recovers. It's about the same now. Same as yesterday. And can you see? Same. This would be something, right? If we have this huge volume that happens after the close, during the run-off period here. I want to see if this is something that I'll be watching, you know, where the market, how much volume the market draws, and the closing periods here in this market. That can be something here. Remember, this is a breakout, the all-time highs. There's a trade that comes after that. I can see some sort of bases here. These levels are going to be. I won't be surprised if these levels are checked, right? But right now, the value prices are above value, and if I have POC down here, this is unfair prices here. You know, trying to get long here for me, at least for me, it is not worth the risk is higher now. There are good odds that the market is going to take this high here, but what happens after that, I don't know. I really don't know. Here, notice how volume dries here, right? Dries here. There's significant volume around the 64.90. What do we have at 64.90? Nothing. There's nothing there. It's just this high here, the high of this range. The 64.80 also. You can see the market is advancing in tens. I don't have nothing else. I just wanted to talk about this trade here, right? But notice how long it took for the market to give us an opportunity, right? 1, 2, 3 days also, actually. And it's very hard, man. This is not easy. This business is freaking hard, and it's not easy to be standing here all day long waiting for something to happen. I don't know what is going to happen. I don't know which direction is going to happen. I'm going to be looking for clues or how the market talks, and start to grabbing the clues one at a time. Right? Start one over another one, and I'm going to see the market starting, giving me some odds. Right? We are not always have good odds. If I have 70-80% odds, that means that everybody knows something is about to happen, and when that happens, I'd rather stay out. Okay, really. As another thing that I was observing today is that this is a very, very prominent overnight POC. You can see how wide it is, right above this high here. And when these kind of things happen, this is low volume. There's not too much volume. You can see the odds the market is coming back and forth through this POC are high, right? Actually, that happened, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times the market coming back through this area, to the downside, to the upside, downside, upside, downside, upside. Right? True. But the relevance, this is just short-term trading going on. This is only 160,000 contracts being negotiated there. All right. Unless you have any questions, I guess I'm going to be calling it a day. Wish you guys, I wish you a wonderful rest of the day. Stay safe. Be careful with that Nvidia reporting after the close. All right. Tomorrow we may have something around 8:30. We also may have something. I am actually watching now Friday. Right? I am watching what happens here, the developments of the market, what happens, having Friday as my main not objective, my main potential day for something that may happen on Friday. Okay? I consider the Nvidia trade being done. Okay? Have a wonderful day, rest of the day, stay safe. Hope I can see you another day. Bye bye.